Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another crypto video. Today we're going to be talking about HBAR. I'm going to kind of go into why I think that my price predictions still kind of stand as is. Now when we talk about price predictions for HBAR, you got to remember that first off, we're extremely early on HBAR as it only came out in 2019. But not only that, but we are still fairly new for, price action overall. I mean, if you're looking at the graph right now, you guys could pretty much see that. But I am going to go in depth on this and why I do think that my price predictions are solid, especially in terms of fundamentals and stuff. I'm not going to do too much TA on this just because TA is kind of incompetent to actually kind of finding where our major topping point would be. So, without further ado, let's jump into this. So, my main target point, which I've already mentioned to you guys, is $10. Now, it would be a massive run because I'm going off of prices at their lowest point on all of these assets or on any asset that I talk about. So, to get to $10, it would be about 124,000, almost 125,000% of an increase in price. Now, before you guys start yelling and screaming and saying whatever, I just want to say that $10 is my personal target point. It's a target that I think is very possible, but it's one of those targets that are kind of astronomically high, so that we might not see it fully. But I want to say that my initial targets on HBAR are about $3 to $6. Now, in terms of where we would be at $3, or roughly $3, sorry, it would be about 37.3K of an increase in price point. I think that this is very achievable, especially when we look back at past bull cycles on most altcoins. Now, if we go to $6, which is my next target point, or that kind of bridge in between them, 3 to 6, it's about 74.8K of a percentage increase in price. Now, when we talk about this actually is not unrealistic, especially when we look at even past cycles in 2017, 2018, if you will. A lot of assets actually did 60,000 plus percentage of an increase in price point. Now, when we talk about the $10 point, I just want to say it all comes down to, publicity. And I say that lightly, because when we talk about fundamentals for projects, fundamentals do matter to an extent. Reason why I say that is because if we duplicate this tab, because I'm going to show you guys a quick chart as well, and we go to Dogecoin for an example. Now, Dogecoin is one of those assets that has no solid fundamentals. It pumps severely off of, alright, so let me actually go to Binance, sorry. It pumped significantly off of just speculation alone. Now, this is the price chart for it. I could actually go to a lower price because we're still in 2020 at this point. But if you guys do notice, I went off of the lows of March 2020. Same thing with HBAR. I'm going off of the lowest price point back here in even 2019. And another asset that I do have listed here we're going to be talking about as well. Now, when we talk about Dogecoin, I do think that the run for Dogecoin is done, this bull run. I don't think that we're going to see $1, in my opinion. Unless, and I say unless lightly, Elon Musk or some other, crypto billionaire influencer, if you will, post about Dogecoin and pumping it astronomically. I mean, we had to have so much publicity to actually get to this point here at 75 cents. It also was listed on major exchanges like Coinbase and stuff last minute at the end there as well, but it was on Robinhood. Now, when we talk about this, it was at about a 68.1K% increase in price. That's pretty much almost about half of what this would be at about $5. Now, Dogecoin is one of those projects, like I said, that doesn't have fundamentals. It pumped significantly off of just publicity alone, shilling as well. And that is when I talk about, we got to really look at FOMO happening, because this is where FOMO actually occurred in here, where a lot of people were saying, oh, well, we're going to miss out, we're going to miss out. And even on this candle here that initially started. Now, when we talk about HBAR, the fundamentals are there. We've already discussed the fundamentals on this one. Now, if we have, because this is the biggest pain point for Hedera Hashgraph that I talked about multiple times as well, and it's the lack of marketing mixed with publicity. If you talk to somebody and you say, do you know Hedera Hashgraph? 9 times out of 10, they don't. I could go up to pretty much anybody and say, do you know what Dogecoin is? I guarantee you that they know exactly what it is. They've heard about it at least. And that is why publicity over fundamentals actually kind of works in this game. I know it sucks. Trust me, I hate it as well. But I believe that we are brewing for a massive utility run that is going to happen. You might be asking yourself, what is a utility run? It's significantly different than a bull run as well. A utility run is when the utility aspect of a coin is pumping its price. And to kind of dumb it down is, it's almost like if you look at something and you're using it. So if you're looking at your phone, right? I know a phone is a bad analogy because phones don't actually increase in price from using them, but I'm going to just say it for the actual example here. So say for so my phone is Hedera Hashgraph. The way that my phone would increase in value is if I'm getting value out of utilizing it. The same way that Hedera Hashgraph being that phone, right? And these companies using Hedera Hashgraph for, for an example, scalability, lower cost transaction fees, stuff like that, that will drive the price. So when we talk about a bull run, right? Because say for so, we're just talking about a bull run to, I don't know, $3, right? So say for so, we get to this $3 point off of just a bull run, no utility run or anything like that. Totally fine. Now a utility run, when it is being massively utilized, and the utility is driving the price significantly, we could say that this little price increase to $3, which isn't technically little, is pretty cool. But when we have utility-driven prices, we could see astronomical prices to $10 plus. We haven't seen a utility run in this game yet, but utility runs happen even in the stock markets and stuff like that, especially even regarding Tesla and stuff. Now, for an example, a utility run would happen for all utility tokens as well. When we look at XRP, HBAR, we even look at most assets like XDC. We also talk about Flare. There's a lot of assets in this game that have massive utility under their belt. But when we talk about Hedera is significantly different, first off, because it doesn't have any forkability aspect to it because it is patent, first off. Now, second of all, Hashgraph technology is significantly different than blockchain technology, especially considering it is one of a kind, like I said. But also, HBAR is different from all of these other assets, especially, we're not going to talk about Dogecoin, but we're going to talk about ADA. HBAR, comparing it to ADA, is significantly different. Again, ADA is a great example of publicity and good marketing. A lot of people do know about ADA. I've talked about the fact that even on my Facebook feed, I had Facebook friends from high school and just school in general talking about ADA that I would have never have guessed were even in crypto. And they're talking about it going to $100 plus, which I do know now is, directly from YouTube. We do know that YouTube has massive, for an example, clickbaited titles to get normie investors in. But we do see that this already did a 20,000% of an increase in price almost. Now, I don't think that ADA's run is significantly done yet. I think it still has juice in the tank. But when we talk about HBAR compared to ADA, because I do think that ADA will also have a utility run, we see significant differences. Shout out to HBAR Tower first off for this graphic. Now, I've done the math on their transactions, right? Their transactions per second is about 7,000, a little bit over, or I shouldn't say transactions per second, transactions per day, sorry. So their transactions per day off of this number, given their time period as well, because I did it per day, so I divided it. It's a little bit over 7,000 overall for each day. Now, when we talk about HBAR, I mean HBAR is doing millions of transactions a day. Technically, it's actually doing more transactions a day than Cardano has done in its lifetime. Now, when we talk about the utility factor of HBAR driving the price significantly, comparing it to even ADA, so say for so ADA goes to, I don't know, $10 or $5 for an example, because ADA has an astronomical circulating supply as well. You could probably expect Hashgraph, or Hedera Hashgraph, sorry, to outperform ADA this bull run, and I strongly do think it's still going to. We have a lot of news. First off, when I say this bull run, I'm expecting the bull run to end around this time here. This is that August 2022. It's pretty much summer of 2022. Yes, that's right. I said 2022, August. So it's about a year from now. I still think that that stays true. I think that this is where we will end the bull run. Now, that gives us, from our current point to around, we'll say, the middle of August, that gives us about 413 days in total. Now, you might be saying, why does that even matter? Well, we've already kind of increased significantly in price on HBAR. It's nothing too crazy. But when we talk about 413 days, a lot of things could happen in that time period. First off, we could see a lot more governing council members joining the team, a lot more, for an example, listings, a lot more publicity flowing in. So we do have a lot more time to get to this price target up here. But when we also talk about the utility factor of HBAR and, to the point where it's going to be utilized, we also see a lot more differences between HBAR and ADA and all these other, coins. For an example, ADA does need smart contracts to actually scale. HBAR doesn't need smart contracts. First off, HBAR, if we actually come over to the overview, which I've already talked about this significantly multiple times, when we come over to this, we also see that its ABFT consensus is the highest grade of security possible. So it's already outbeating ADA and multiple other projects in this space in the security aspect, which the security aspect, if I was a big company and I was looking to build my project on a DLT, for an example, and my top priority is security, because security plays a big role in any sort of company that is trying to get into, or I should say scale on a DLT technology. They are looking for, first off, security. Security will drive a lot of individuals to, or I shouldn't say individuals, but companies to build on Hedera Hashgraph. Now, the next point is, first off, scalability. Right now, this transactions per second, this 10,000 plus transactions per second, is throttled at that. So we are actually technically achieving 100,000 plus. As Lehman said in an interview, they could actually do 500,000 plus right now with sharding. Now they only have that's with one, not unlimited, with one. When we look here, we do see cryptocurrency transactions throttled at 10K transactions per second and will increase in the future. Sharding is to enable unlimited transactions per second. Now, when we talk about this, the reason why I bring up the fact that this is still 413 days out is when we look at their roadmap and we come down to H2 2021. Now, this is the second quarter of 2021, so we still have time to get to this point. As you guys can see, we still have a lot more to kind of go through here. But we do see down here in H2 2021, we do see sharding is going to be implemented here. Nodes support operation of multiple shards on the Hedera mainnet for enhanced scalability and decentralization. Once this is implemented, which is still in 2021, I mind you, it is game over. And I say it's game over because this is going to drive a lot of adoption for HBAR. That is why I still say we are very early. When they could boast these statistics worldwide, you're going to see a lot more companies coming in, joining the governing council, partnering with them, building on Hedera's mainnet. And when we talk about Hedera's network, it's all powered by HBAR itself. It's not like any other project where, for example, Ripple, right? Their customers, their ODL customers, are not guaranteed to utilize XRP. HBAR is significantly different. HBAR's price is actually driven by the network being utilized. That is why I say this utility run for Hedera Hashgraph, if we do see one, is going to be extremely different than any other asset in this space, because we know that HBAR itself is actually powering everything that goes on with Hedera Hashgraph. And I just want to say, for Hedera Hashgraph to really gain in value, all it really needs is a solid, marketing team, because it has everything going for it. For example, they have 80 plus use cases in multiple sectors around the world, staggering at, trillions of dollars plus that they are valued at. And if you don't, take my word for it, you can come onto their website right now, go to use cases, go to case studies, and just look through this list. There's healthcare, media, law, gaming, technology, multimedia, retail. There's so much to really go through here that you could really look at. And this is how many people are already building on Hedera Hashgraph. Or I shouldn't say building, but are going to be building, because not all of them are actually transacting over Hedera Hashgraph's technology right now. We do know that AdStax already did 1 billion transactions over the Hedera mainnet. So there is going to be a lot more scalability in store for Hedera Hashgraph. And we could already tell that the 1.3 billion transactions that they already did in this year alone is going to scale astronomically higher when they do have more and more businesses and companies doing transactions over the network. But also, with unlimited transactions per second comes a lot more transactions flowing over the network, increasing the value of HBAR significantly. So, when we do say $10 at 124, almost 125,000% of an increase in price, it doesn't seem too unrealistic when we take into accountability the fundamentals. Now, to get there, I still do think that we need a lot more marketing, because fundamentals will drive price, utility will drive price as well, but to get there a lot faster and before a bear market actually occurs, we need marketing. And I mean marketing as good as ADA, because ADA has some great marketing. That's why a lot of normie investors know about ADA. I don't want, Elon Musk to shill HBAR and get the price pumping like that, because we do know what follows that, and that is multiple sell-offs. And that will pretty much drive prices down. I mean, there will always be buy pressure, but there will be more sell pressure at that point as more and more normies kind of make their money. But I do think that $3 to $6 is very easily achievable, and I think $10 is also achievable this bull run, especially when we talk about the fact that it's going to range until even August, because I do think that, considering the past market cycles, every cycle kind of lasts a little bit longer, and when we take into accountability that, we could tell that this market cycle is actually going to be 500 plus days of a market, and this is really going to, in my opinion, happen. And I do think that Bitcoin will most likely top out at about 75 to 85K and let alts really run the show. And it is going to take a little bit longer, but it's going to be worth it in the long run, especially when we do accumulate a lot of these major assets like HBAR. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. As always, I'm very bullish on HBAR, and I love the vision of the team, and I love the project overall. So let me know what you guys think about HBAR down in the comments. If you guys did watch the video this far, definitely leave HBAR to the moon down in the comments as well. I hope that you all enjoyed. If you guys do want more free content, you guys could always follow me on Twitter at NCashOfficial. You guys could also join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out.